Going into this plastic-free challenge, I always envision it looking like sparkly and clean and beautiful, but it's more like old tortilla bags.
My name's Scott, and today I'm going to be accompanied by my amazing, beautiful girlfriend, Danny. She's going to be telling you guys really what it was like, because she's just better at this stuff.
We went plastic-free for 30 days.
And
Here's what it was like. That's good. Good job.
Really good try.
You're wonderful. You're so smart and wonderful. I kind of knew that the hardest part was going to be food, just because we've already done like a lot in our house to reduce plastic. Like, we don't have sponges anymore. We have these compostable brushes, or we have like a soap block instead of like a soap container. So it was much harder than I thought in the beginning as far as reducing plastic with food, and it was way easier in the end than I thought it was going to be. I thought in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, this whole month is going to be difficult. And then Scott and I did like a big plastic free run. We went to like our grocery store where we can get like bulk foods and snacks, and as soon as we did that, everything was easy from there on out.
It was really just a change of habit, substituting one snack for another, but I did struggle with parts of it. Chips was probably the #1 thing, for me at least. I think you're on.
Some of the changes we had already made were we had switched to composting, which is a big deal. We also started bringing like our own to-go containers with us when we would go to restaurants, so we could bring it home with us. Buying in bulk obviously was a big change that we had to make, because you have to change the way that you shop, but it's helped us reduce our plastic quite a bit.
Loose leaf tea. Also, bonus, make your own bread.
And Scott and I don't do a ton of shopping outside of food, and if we do, it's generally secondhand. So that part wasn't too difficult, and we have a lot of kitchen items and bathroom items that we've already replaced and stopped using plastic. So really, this entire challenge just came down to getting our food plastic free, and the first week was hard, and the last week was so easy. It was really effortless once we had gotten in the routine of it and put in the time to prepare foods for us ahead of time. The bathroom is one area that I feel like we have on lock. Like, not a problem. Going into the plastic-free challenge, felt really smooth about it. So we switched like our toothpaste containers for metal recyclable ones a little while ago. Our soap that I use and we use in the shower is Dr. Bronner's, and their containers are made out of 99% recycled plastic. So that was an easy switch we made in a couple places in the household. I switched to using a metal razor last year, and since purchasing it, I've spent like 10 cents on razor blades because it's cheap once you have the razor. We switched to a shampoo bar and conditioner bar, so that's just made reducing plastic easy in that way. And what I've done is I found the one that I liked. I tried a couple different ones, and then when I found the one I like, I ordered like a bulk order, like a bunch of them at once, so that way I don't have to keep reusing packaging or any materials like that. Oh yeah, and we switched our toilet paper a while ago, and that's been so easy. We switched to Who Gives a Crap, or sometimes we'll use Go #2, and both of those companies send the toilet paper individually wrapped with recyclable paper, so that you can just recycle it instead of the plastic wrap that usually comes on toilet paper. I feel like that's everything.
Oh, no, there's one more.
What?
You make your own makeup.
Oh yeah. And then the last part of it is, you can see like I reuse a lot of plastic materials, so if you end up with something, you can reuse it. But I do make a lot of my own makeup now, so I keep my eyeliner in this contact case that I've reused, and I made it out of charcoal. Did you get it?
Yeah, it's just black. You can't really see anything.
Okay. And I've made blush out of beets, dried beets. Let me get the other container. I actually don't know where it is. Hold on.
Please tell her to start a freaking channel. She does all this cool stuff and she just won't make a YouTube channel for no reason. I would even edit her videos at the beginning, at least. I'll teach you how, babe. Come on, make a channel.
No.
The people want it.
They don't want it.
They do.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is an old makeup container. I ground up dried beets and arrowroot powder and made blush.
That's so cool.
So yeah, I do a lot of like reusing stuff. I think when I first went plastic free and even going into this plastic free challenge, I always envision it looking like sparkly and clean and beautiful, but it's more like old tortilla bags and like washing plastic stuff that you accidentally accumulate and reusing it. This is oats on it. Okay. In my personal opinion, this is like the best thing you can have if you're trying to reduce waste, because you can fill it with food and freeze it. You can use it to store food in the fridge. You can take it to a coffee shop, and because it has like the measurements on it, they know how much to fill it up for your coffee cup. You can take it to the bulk section and fill it with food. Like, it does everything.
Changing your habits is the hardest, but most of the things that we've suggested can actually be delivered straight to your door, which makes habit changing easier because you don't even have to go to the store for it. Things like detergents and soaps and toothpaste. You might as well choose the thing that's not going to pollute the earth, right? Just think, if a company doesn't care if it pollutes the earth, does it care if it pollutes you? There's gotta be less damaging ways to package things. Card readers only come in plastic. There's no reason the packaging on most of our food should outlive us, the people consuming it. That doesn't, what? Their failures don't have to be our failures though. Small changes consistently over time create huge impact, and changing a habit now has lasting effects over a lifetime.
Accidental piece of plastic today. Dog poop bag.
Why are you giving it to me?
Gave them our containers and then asked them if they would use them, and they said yes. And then when they handed us the containers back, they put it in a plastic bag.
It's okay if your favorite X, Y, or Z doesn't come plastic free. There you go. Okay. It came to things outside of eating or hygiene. There were some spots where there was no other option but to fail.
And the first week we failed a couple times because of that.
Danny needs Claritin, so plastic. I didn't beat myself up over it if I couldn't find a plastic-free option and it was something that I had to have, because that's just the world that we live in. I do think that it'll change. I did, however, beat myself up over the lack of planning when Danny wasn't feeling well and I was responsible for food, and I just didn't have it together, so I had to make a frozen burrito or pick something up from wherever, and that I was like, dang it, I could have done better. I do know one of the times that I failed was at the movie theater though, because you can see as the fucking failure hits my face, Danny says the word plastic and I'm like, oh shit, I just remembered. I'd been doing so well, and then she's like, what's that in your hand? And I was like, oh fuck. If you were just here for the tips and tricks, then get out of here. But if you want the philosophical, like the things that this challenge brought up and made me think about, then that's what I'm about to share. So stick around. I live in my past's future and my future's past simultaneously. Everything I've learned in the past somehow feels different. It's like it was a lifetime ago. Every day I get to choose what life I want to live. I know how cheesy that sounds, but it's true, and I try to remember how much impact every choice I make has on the future. You don't have to be a genius to look at the number of single-use plastic items humans utilize and throw away to think, this can't last forever. But that's how our society is built, and change is difficult. What can a single person or household do to change the direction of society? Well, actually, there's a lot. By switching products you use and businesses you endorse, you're actually voting in America. We act like voting in America is done at a poll, but it's not. It's done at a cash register. It's a different kind of voting, but it's the same idea. And in this case, you have to vote because you have to eat. You're not making your own clothes, so you're going to spend money on clothes. How do you make sure you're spending wisely? Every dollar you spend is a vote for more of that item, that packaging, that idea. So how do you make sure you're voting for the right companies? What would archaeological sites look like if ancient civilizations had plastic? What will the future think of our town trash dumps? At some point, there's going to be a company that figures out a way to make money from them, and they're going to mine all the old trash sites. It's weird to be anti a substance, let alone a substance that's super helpful. And I'm not as much anti-plastic as I am pro everything else. And if we have to use plastic, all right, but let's just not be irresponsible with it, you know?
Okay, his name's Scott, my name's Danny, and you're watching Regular Veteran, where civilians are always welcome. Thanks for watching.
I love you.